midnight? Or sativa? Sorry, midnight. I don't want to hear it. Stay up there, you're still in trouble. Good morning. Yeah, I got my mic down. Alright, good morning. It is, because I just started streaming and all, but who knows, I might eventually get the courage to actually post on YouTube. I forgot my glasses. Okay. Now to touch you up. Black's gonna need a touch up. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit tricky right there. That's gonna need to be touched. Gray. I think I got the fade looking off. Oh my god, detach. That green's definitely gonna need a touch up. This one should be done. I didn't use you. Didn't use you. Or you. Or you. Let's put you over here. Didn't use two. I'd probably use a touch up on you. You. I think you're good. And there's you. The paints I am using still. Question is, where do I start? Let's start with the still silver. Actually, I put that in the living room, so what I do. Oop. Grab another one. Yes. If I sing along, I'm sorry I don't have a voice for singing. Look at that. I got. That's all I got. I probably could touch that looking at it up close, but I did try and set it up where there was some streaks, so maybe not. Though I might go over it with another color for those streaks. Probably another type of green. I don't know. I could totally get a splinter doing that. I'll set you this way so you can actually dry. Welcome, viewing entity. What's up? I know it's so early here. Bitch, I did not mean for you to actually go there. I just wanted you to skip. Oh my god. Skip. Come on, phone. Oh, that one. Go back to stream. Go away. Go away. Yeah, I want to do. I'll leave the stylus out to actually change the music. I know my phone's so nifty. It has a stylus. Can I put you at the bottom? Just in case. But we're gonna put you over here. I'll put you up top. One right there. Just a pen, because you're so thick. I don't know what to talk about. And I really don't feel like singing along to this. If you have a topic in mind, drop it in the comments. I am actually listening to Mudvayne right now. If you want to know. It's still early for me. And I woke up kind of extra early. So but I really wanted to do this, not really even the fact of how I just really wanted to actually get out there with you and get these videos out there for you guys. I know everybody's going crazy. Oh wait, they have. Then and I know those social butterflies are suffering so much for it. Because they don't know how to put it. They don't seem to really know how to handle not being sociable. I don't think it hurt too much than the antisocial on the social part. But those social butterflies are probably taking it the hardest of not being able to social and have big gatherings and all that. And we're like 2 weeks away from Christmas, and I'm sure everybody's stressing, so maybe understanding of it and compassion of everybody having probably anxiety of not being able to be social, or having anxiety of being social, and the fact of everything going on, the finances, and the ordeals of how a lot of people have lost people that's close to them. So my condolences goes out to everybody that has lost somebody that they love, is struggling financially because of the epidemic. But I don't think I'll go there right now. Body. On the bright side, United Kingdom has started their first wave of their vaccine. They were the first country to get their first shot, and I think the lady that got her first shot was probably in like 80s, 90s, maybe 70s. I don't remember. Don't matter. But there's hope. I know you probably got some conspirators that's thinking, oh no, that shot's gonna turn you into zombies. The apocalypse is coming. And then you got some of them that's like, the global warming, if the virus doesn't kill us, the global warming will. Because I don't know everything. I don't think we're meant to know everything, but I do acknowledge that knowledge is power. Because you gotta know how to survive. And to be able to make a living or be able to make relationships or whatever your goals are in life. You gotta know how. I don't know. Love it, hate it. You wanna talk about something else? Say something. Onward. So, the epidemic and the vaccines are just starting to come out, and people are struggling, and governments are having to do stuff to actually sustain the economy, and whether if your country is or not, I don't know unless you're in the same country as me. Nobody's necessarily alone in this. They get special privilege. Fuck white privilege. They should call it the fucking rich privilege. Because the rich always come out on top. Now, some of them might actually give back, and half of the world, I don't always expect that out of them. I'm gonna have to make another code of you. Here, we'll turn this around. Don't you hate it when all of a sudden you got that little dry spot in your throat? And it gets like real itchy. So it makes you want to cough, but you don't really want to. Look, I got. And then you try and take a drink and stuff, and it won't go away. It's just annoying sitting there. I think if people realize that the world didn't evolve around them so much, and actually cared about more people instead of just their money, like their money's gonna buy them everything, including love and happiness. And if they say that it does, then that's some fake ass love and happiness, because it's just for the money. It ain't for anybody actually loving you and accepting you for you. It's just they want your money. And they're arrogant and ignorant if they think otherwise. But forever, man, if we lived forever, we would be bored of life. Because then we'd be able to do everything you could possibly think of, and then we'd start actually trying to do more things than killing ourselves, and we couldn't because death wouldn't exist, and the cycle of life, I don't know, the cycle of life would be at a standstill. Which is, it seemed cool and fun and all that at first, but if you think about it, how are you gonna appreciating what they have before it disappears? You know, as sad as it is to say. Fuck this. You're getting painted over. That's gonna look a little messed up with that, but oh well. I don't really like seeing any of the white of the canvas itself. Paint. I'm not like OCDC or anything, but it does get annoying. And I feel like it might look a little like... Actually, I haven't been painting for super long. I actually started last year. It was either last year or this year. I want to say it was last year I started painting. I mean, I've drawn art all my life, but painting, I find it easier to control a pen or a pencil on a paper than a paintbrush on a canvas. You know? But a canvas is easier to preserve and stuff like that than a piece of paper. I mean, yeah, you can put a piece of paper in a frame. I'm actually starting to like the way that paint looks, the way it comes off of a brush. Kind of like the way ink comes out of a pen, if you watch it close enough. You know? Some people think that everything just happens for a reason. Some feel forsaken or whatever. Not sure. Don't have a whole lot of perspective in that, because just don't know. Even if you feel unappreciated or whatever, the fact that they even want to be around in your life says something. You never know if tomorrow's going to be your last day or theirs. If they're going to live through it or not. I guess the best way to die is with the one that you love, but perhaps the best way to die is doing something that you love or saving somebody else from death, especially someone that you care about. Like, with all this epidemic stuff and everything, I don't know about other countries, but in mine, it seems like there has been a high rise for uprises. Like, I'm pretty sure the Black Lives Matter organization group, whatever, is international, at least by now. And yeah, I feel for them and how fucked up it is that cops have gone and shot innocent, or as the George Floyd incident occurred, and thinks that it's okay for them to go and kill innocent people for no reason just because of the color of their skin or whatever fucking personal self perspective of the, just because of that doesn't necessarily mean that just Black Lives Matter. That should be more of an all lives matter, if you ask me. But hey, that's my opinion. You can just like opinion, whatever. That's like saying that. That's like going back to the crusade and stuff. Like when the Christians and stuff were trying to convert all of the religions, or the Holocaust, where the Nazis decided that the Jews shouldn't live. Who are to just or die, for that matter? We are no better than the one next to us. We are no better than the one behind us. We are no better than the one richer or poorer than the ones that seem to have better morals, or different colored skins, or different languages, or what. We all feel hate, discrimination. We all feel everything, don't we? The only thing that make us truly different than that type of perspective is the fact that your fears and emotions from yourself, like you're scared of them, or do you decide to embrace and ride through it and grow and learn from every downfall, every pain, every heartbreak, every love, every happiness? Every time you smile and laugh, you're technically happy, right? Or do you just fake it so you seem like it for publicity? Why should we care what everybody else thinks when the biggest thing that matters is what we think? See, people don't really realize even what your flaws do. And then you realize that your self-perspective is your own torment. The way you perceive yourself is how you flaunt yourself. People only see what you want them to see, and if you want to look like a victim, or you want to look miserable, or you want to look like everything's fine when it's not, that's pretending, because everybody feels a lot of different emotions. Maybe not all at the same time, like some. Maybe some are in denial where they think that their emotions don't change on the daily. But everybody still feels different things at different times. And it's a matter of how we make each other feel for why we're drawn to each other or in disgust of each other. For us to actually not care about somebody completely, you would have to feel indifferent about them. You can't hate them, you can't love them, you just gotta feel indifferent, like not acknowledge their existence at all. And everybody needs somebody to acknowledge them. Everybody needs to feel like they're accepted in some kind of way, you know? And I'm not doing this to be accepted or because I don't feel like my existence is acknowledged enough. I actually enjoy painting because I embrace my creativity and I deal with a lot of things myself. But maybe if I get enough followers, then I might do a QA and actually explain myself and maybe might pass a little more for y'all, but that would involve having more followers that actually is interested in that. Because guess what? Everybody got a story. Everybody got a past. Everybody got a life. The existence of the world where not everybody knows you from nation to nation or whatever. But you're still somebody because somebody knows you. They might not know you the way that you want them to. They might not necessarily accept you the way that you want them to. But there's still somebody that necessarily knows your name and your face because you went to school with them or you live with them or some matter like that. And if you were like locked up your whole life and the only person you knew is an abusive person where you know no one and no one knows you, that's pretty fucked up and that's not your fault. That's not your fault. But if that's the case, then I don't think you necessarily be on here watching this. Because it would mean that you. And I really doubt you would have social media. Or any devices for social media to even reach out for help. This life is cruel. It's depressing how bad it is, and it's not necessarily because of life. It's because of the way people make it. It's the way people make others feel because they think that they're better than everybody else, or because they think that they're not good enough for anything, or because they're so insecure they make everybody else insecure around them, making them feel like they ain't good enough. Or their self-perception is where they're not good enough for anything, and then they turn around and take it out on the world. Like, I can't help the fact that some people come from abusive families or families that don't even acknowledge them or hate them or whatever, that find their existence a curse instead of a blessing. But instead of taking that and returning it back into the world of because my parents hate me and all this and I'm some bullshit, doesn't mean around the world. The biggest problem is that I think most people don't know how to handle their emotions because nations and you learn mathematics and science and you learn you have this ability to learn things like robotics and agriculture, theater and instruments and sports, but even like health classes and politics, health classes for like sex ed and stuff, because you gotta know even that, right? But closest thing to what I learned, but mostly about presentation and reading the room to be able to sell yourself or sell whatever it is you're trying to sell out, for these this audience, this viewers, the consumers to go about taking from you, but it doesn't teach you how to go about recognizing I feel this, I feel that. How do I teach that if they don't understand how to do that? Because nobody's perfect, right? What when parents necessarily teach parents probably came from like strict families, and they might have converted or whatever, and actually being a little more modest and not so strict, like being like, oh, it's okay, you for all you love, and I'm not gonna hate on you because you decide you want sex before marriage, and I'm not gonna make you be baptized. I'll let you choose whether if you want to be baptized, type stuff, you know. But I didn't necessarily teach us even how to go about that stuff. Like, okay, let's sit down and talk. Tell me what's wrong and what you feel, and we'll figure out how to get through this together. But that doesn't necessarily teach you everything, because you couldn't expect them to know everything. I tell you what, parenting doesn't come from man. That's like, yeah, there's now more books about animals. There's now more books and classes about parenting, stuff like they do now. They don't. They didn't have that type of stuff. And there was technically a time where you could be 14 and get married and start having kids because the demand was so high. But they didn't have that. They were expected to be housewives and just stay home and raise the kids the best they could and figure it out as they would. People have so many resources today. There is so much resources today. We have, you can just Google resources of your state or your town, and all the resources and assistance that is available to your town or your county or state. Right? I'm not great with geography. I wasn't great with geography in high school either. I don't know how the hell I managed to pass that. The sad thing is I actually had accommodated stuff in school. But I also didn't care about my grades in high school. It's it's really sad what the world has come to, because if everybody could just acknowledge you exist, you feel, we both feel these emotions, we might not feel the same way about this one little subject, but we shouldn't let that tear us apart. We shouldn't take it out on each other just because we don't agree. You know? Probably should have ate before I got on here, but oh well. I'll suffer for it, but I won't care right now. Eat when I take a break, and then probably come back on later today. Because it is a more advanced way than my art, and art and music is how maybe I can inspire others that there are safer ways to express how you feel, hate in this world. To agree to disagree. If everything, then we'd be like Barbies, we'd be like robots. We would be, if we were programmed in it, then what's the point of living? What's the point if you can't feel? Granted, you might feel things you don't want to feel, or you might not always understand what you feel, or you might not always be able to put it in words, and if you can't put it in words, then you can draw it or whatever. Just start doodling the lines with writing through the emotions, and that's when I was a little more visualized, because there was a point for it. But there's a lot that just go in sketching the lines and bam, it's something, Not really visualizing it, just feeling it. Letting the emotions take over the hand that sketches or paints it. I started being more of sketching my art, so I can be more detailed, because I like being more detailed. But that's not the point. The point is there's a lot of things that we could do to express ourselves besides being hateful to each other, that other people make us feel. And the more you let somebody in, the deeper it affects you. Regardless if it makes you change for the better or the worse, or if they hurt you, or if they leave you, or whatever it is, to affect you enough to affect your lifestyle, your choices. And that's not necessarily completely a bad thing unless it controls your whole life. Or even the tiniest choice, like what the hell am I gonna eat today? Am I gonna eat Chinese for lunch, or am I gonna eat Mexican? Well, they had Chinese and little things on other people. If you actually think of it, okay, am I gonna do this or am I gonna do that because of them? Telling someone that, if it's a complete stranger, you just go up to them and be like, "Can I give you a hug?" Well, maybe not right now because it's an epidemic, but you know, you're beautiful, or I like your hair. You notice, or just be like, "Hello, thank you for existing. I know this is going to be really weird for you, but I just wanted to acknowledge that you exist in a positive way." Does that make any sense to you? Like, as strange as that would be, to go up to a stranger and be like, "I acknowledge that you exist in this world, and I accept that." I don't know you. I don't care if you want me to know you. But I just want you to know that I are here. You'd be surprised the kind of effects your clothes. I like your hair. I like your shoes. Can I give you a hug? Can can I do something positive towards you so you actually realize that a complete stranger acknowledges you exist in a positive way. So have the depressive thoughts of I want to die today or I want to kill today, because all it is the fact that people that do that, that think that, aren't acknowledged in enough positive ways for them to feel like they actually, that it's okay that they exist. And believe me, I've been through some depression myself. Not that hard to understand that people that are depressed have a low self-esteem. They have a low, they have a bad self-perspective of themselves. They put themselves down enough that they don't need your negativity. They need positivity to help bring them up. And I mean, you might think it's not true, but it technically is. 1,000 positivities makes up for one negativity. And you could possibly think, we already think negative of ourselves. We don't need people to hate on us because we're different, or we don't have the brand new look, or we don't have the kind of money to go into the things you do. If you really want to go about it in that, then why don't you pay for us to experience something new with you? Don't just throw it in everybody's faces, making it seem like you think you're better than everyone else. You don't think you're better than everyone else. Just because not everybody comes from rich families and or makes a good enough living to have a living large lifestyle like you, doesn't give you the right to hate on someone because they're not like you. And even if they had the money or the clothes like you, why is it that they like you? They're nicer than you. Like, okay, let's go find a homeless person. Let's go find a couple that's homeless and take them to like Walmart or somewhere and go and buy them some fucking clothes for the fucking winter. Let's go fucking into Cabela's or somewhere like Academy. I don't know if other countries have those kind of stores. I'm sure they have outdoor stores and camping and sports and hunting and shit. Anyway, fucking take them there and buy them fucking supplies so they can survive outside. Or take them and McDonald's, connect to the Wi-Fi and help them put in fucking applications for a job. Or spend a day fucking grilling and barbecuing and then take it out to the fucking homeless on the fucking corner begging. I know that this would make it seem like, oh, but the homeless, if you give them money, then they're just gonna go spend it on drugs and alcohol. Yeah, there is homeless that might have fucking money, but fucking decide to live on the streets instead because it's cheaper and they have more money for the habits, but that doesn't mean to fucking hate on all the homeless. Not every homeless motherfucker that comes out of fucking prison is necessarily so much of a bad guy that they're just gonna go and kill somebody. Yeah, they might have a charge of assault where they're capable. Everybody's capable of assault or murder or what the fuck ever if you push them there. Choose to be that way because society made them have to toughen up and join shit like gangs and thieves. Some of them might be bored of life where they have to have a thrill for